Hey guys, welcome back to Odrix Sports. Today we're going to go over last Friday's sports scores, high school sports scores in South Dakota. Really good games. There was a couple. There was a tie, I think, yesterday or to Saturday.
A little odd.
So some things we haven't seen before. Also, shout out to Braden Delahoy. Great touchdown for SDSU this last weekend. So if you haven't seen that, guys, go check that out. I think everybody has shared it. So I'm sure if you just jump on Facebook, you'll find it.
It's good to see.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. So Colton, you want to jump into scores?
So we'll jump in real quick. So Cologne versus Sunshine Bible Academy. Cologne falling to Sunshine Bible. That's tough. I think that's the second week in a row. So Cologne looking for a little bit of a comeback. White River over Tioche Pazina, 50-0. Sioux Falls Lutheran over Oldham Ramona Rutland, 30-20. Vermilion all over Lakota Tech, 55-0. Sioux Falls Christian over Rapid City Christian, 48-21. Wagner 35 over Hot Springs 7. Wagner's tough.
That quarterback is carrying that team. If you kind of watch it, that Wagner quarterback he's very good. I think he's going to be somebody to kind of pay attention to.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised at all if the offers start kind of coming in.
Trickling in, we'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, take a look at what they've done. So they beat Chamberlain 45-12. They beat Winter.
Yes, they did.
And they beat Hot Springs. So they're 3-0, looking really, really good. Handled. Sturgis Brown over Douglas 35-0. I mean, I'll be honest, it's a win. It's a good win, but it's not as impressive as I've seen, from a lot of other teams. So this one's going to be really interesting at the end of the year.
The thing is when you play local teams like that, when did the second team come in? Was it 21-0 and then the second team rolls in and then like you're not as likely to see someone run up a score or something when it's a local team.
Yeah.
I think Sturgis is still a really
good team. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying
35-0 is not but when do you call off the dogs? I think when you're a local team playing a local team, you call them off a little bit faster than if you're going across 5 hours and you want to get your guys some reps and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I want to make sure I'm very transparent in this. I'm not sleeping on nobody. I understand that Sturgis came in to beat the Spearfish at home last year. So, I mean, I guess we still got to go out and prove it this year. So, Belfouche losing to West Central 48-16. Esteline Hendricks over Chester 38-7.
Hill City 51, Dupree 0. Chester 7. EHHS 38. Is that Ethan? Maybe.
Your guess is as good as mine these days. Lemon McIntosh over Gettysburg, 22-0 there. Also, Lennox, just took it to Custer, 66-13.
Lennox is something. They're real.
They've always been.
Yeah, they're going to be good this year. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That would be my go-to. Who's going to end up in the dome?
Spearfish over Rapid City Central, 14-6. We'll get into that in just a moment. Harding County over New Underwood, 58-14. You had Wall over Kadoka, 52-0. Huron beating Riggs, Pierre, 13-7.
What did I say last week?
I don't remember what happened yesterday.
I was going to say, I told you. I said I would not want to be a team that saw Huron in the second round of the playoffs. And I got there was a couple guys that are like, oh, Huron fan. No, I'm just saying Huron, I wouldn't sleep on Huron.
No. Well, the thing is, I remember us watching them last year. I think it was during when Spearfish played them for homecoming, and it was you're looking at it and you're like, okay, if they could feed the ball to some of their playmakers or at least throw it up, they're dangerous. They're going to be a tough team, and I think they're figuring that out this year.
That Pierce score is kind of unheard of. I didn't think when I first saw it, I saw the 7-0, and then Pierre came back. And I was like, oh, look at this. And then all of a sudden, Pierre was 7-7. And I was like, man, it was fun while it lasted. And then you saw the final, and it was kind of like, holy cow, then Huron's for real.
I think, now this is going to be a really good test for Huron this week as they take on T. So that's going to be the ultimate measuring stick. And I think I was talking to Shelby Richards, the head volleyball coach for Spearfish. And the one thing you don't want to compare yourself to local scores and local teams, but it kind of just naturally happens in high school
Yeah.
sports. Like you look at, okay, they beat them by 30, you know, we beat those guys by 40. So like we should be better, you know, it just kind of naturally happens, but it's really important to get away from that because also, I mean, it changes from game to game. It absolutely does. Let's see here. So Mobridge Pollock over Miller Highmore Herald, 52-7. Alcester Hudson over Irene Wakanda, 41-8. McCook Central Montrose over Beersford, 38-0. Britton Heckler over Redfield, 61-22. T over Aberdeen Central, 25-7. Warner over Ipswich, 36-30.
Did you see the Yankton score yet?
I did not yet. No, I think
Okay.
we're getting down there. I
Yeah,
think.
my scores are different than yours. I apologize.
Are you good? So Warner over Ipswich, 36-30. Phillip over Bennett County, 30-6. St. Thomas More over Chamberlain, 35-0.
I thought Chamberlain was going to be better. I know St. Thomas More is good, but I thought Chamberlain was going to be better.
St. Thomas More looks good this year.
They do look tough.
I
They
don't.
recruited well.
Howard over Dubrook, 52-16. Centerville over Garrettson, 35-21. Yankton beating Watertown, 52-26. So that happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be a good. Let's put it that way.
I would. Here's the deal. Yankton had a really good defense last year. I think the defense is still really good, and I think the offense got better.
Well, also, so they beat Huron 41-24, and then they are looks like they're going to be on the road. Sorry, they just beat Watertown 52-26. Now they've got Douglas. The thing is they don't play Spearfish this year.
There's not very. They hardly ever do play Spearfish.
Okay.
That T game will be good, and then that who's that? They play T like second last game of the year,
Harrisburg.
and then they also play Pier and Harrisburg. Harrisburg's going to be that Pier game, and then Harrisburg 2 weeks later, and then I get T right after Harrisburg. So it'll be it's going to be a tough road. Yeah.
Canastota over Iroquois Lake Preston 30-12. Hitchcock Tulare over Northwestern Area 38-26. Elkton Lake Benton losing to Freeman Marion Freeman Academy 42-28. Avon over Burke.
I don't see anybody beating Avon.
And they're tough. They're very tough. 48-0. Hamlin beating Wabash Summit 53-0. Winner beating Groton, coming back in that one. I think they were down 14-0 at one point, coming back and beating them 36-22. Duel over Aberdeen Roncalli 48-26. Elk Point Jefferson over Mount Vernon Plankington 32-14.
And VP doesn't look good this year.
I'm kind of I'm a little enamored. We'll see what happens as the season goes on, but the EPJ has always been pretty good.
Yeah, they're stacked with athletes. It's a very small community, but somehow they always produce athletes.
Yep. Sioux Valley over Baltic 54-8. Stanley County over Loyola Frederick 36-30. Hanson over D. Smet 48-8.
Thank you, McKinley.
Shout out McKinley Bickett. Platte Geddes 42-18 over Gregory. Also, Viborg Curly bouncing back over Gayville Vollen 60-14. Park over Flanders 26-20. Great Plains Lutheran beating Florence Henry 42-0. Still waiting on that Sisseton Clark Willow Lake score. Madison and Del Rapids. Madison beating the Del Rapids 21-20. Corsica Stickney over TDAA CDC.
Trip
50-14.
Delmont, Andes, Central.
I stopped a while ago. Parkston over Kimball White Lake, 26-14. It's good to see Parkston.
It is,
back.
but they should have beat Kimball by. That's scary.
The dominance isn't as much. We'll just say that.
No, it's not.
Falkton over Harriet Subway, 24-6. Castlewood beating Woolsey Westington, 36-0. Bon Home. Hey, you guys bounced back. Good for you.
We beat Scotland Meadow. No offense to Scotland Meadow, but
50-14 over Scotland Meadow. St. Maryland beating Arlington 52-0. Dakota Valley over Canton. This one was telling, 35-14. Tri-Valley over Millbank 34-0. Also North Central beating Timberlink 14-8. Finally, Bridgewater Emory Ethan 32-6 over Lead Deadwood. So,
did you get the Madison Del Rapids?
I think I did. Hold on, let me just see.
I just want to make sure.
I did. Madison beating Del Rapids 21-20.
Yep. Madison looks good this year.
They did.
Yeah,
They do.
so-
So, when Black Hills weather swings from frigid winters to scorching summers, Woods Heating and Cooling keeps Spearfish, Lead, and the surrounding Black Hills area perfectly comfortable. With over 10 years of trusted HVAC experience and expertise in everything from air conditioning to radiant floor heat, call Woods now at 605-861-9592 for dependable year-round comfort. Spartans 14-6. First off, initial reaction.
It went exactly how I thought it was going to go. It had a it almost repeated exactly how it was last year.
Yep.
I said it like in the middle of the game, and I probably was a little bit soon, but you could definitely tell come fourth quarter the Spartans were just better conditioned. They just wore them out.
Yeah.
Those bigger guys first half, they were kind of pushing our guys back and stuff, but by the middle of the third quarter, you could see that they were gassed, and the Spartans just kept digging and kept grinding, and then all of a sudden, Mick came through, busted a couple, and then Cade Vavrishka, they're finally
They're throwing it up for him, which is good because the kid can jump, and he's also 6'2", 6'3".
Yep.
So it's kind of one of those things when you said it during the stream, just let your playmakers play. You just got to throw it up, let him make a play. And I mean, it happened there. It happened when Thomas Hughes got the game-sealing interception. It happened when you gave it to Mick Bosch on that 3-yard touchdown run. You just saw it, and I think we even covered it with Dean at one point, where the teams that know they're going to win. You can kind of just see them sort of settle down towards the end of the game where then it's like all of a sudden that moment happens and then they're like, okay, this is where we take over. And you saw it with Spearfish.
And you watch it with like good teams like Pierre all the time. You watch it with baseball-wise, you're going to watch it with like a Tabor or you guys are like, what's Tabor? No, it's... But you watch it with those good teams consistently where they can be down by a touchdown, maybe even two, and then all of a sudden they exhale and the other team's like, crap. Yep. Like these guys aren't even worked up, they're not worried, and they're just going to be kind of monotonous on this is our game plan. We're not shifting from our game plan, and we know at some point we're going to beat you.
Yep.
And we're going to break that play, and that's kind of what Hughes finally did. Hughes busted one up the middle, and
I think that was kind of when, you go 93 yards, I'd be gassed. You need an ambulance to get me out of there. But I think overall, when you see a guy like Hughes bust that run, you can kind of see the air back and the sails for the Spartans where it was like, okay, all right, we're going to be okay. And then it was that next drive defense, I think, went out and got a 3-and-out or something pretty close to that. And then it was, hey, 4 minutes left to go. Let's take our time. Let's run the ball methodically, drive, make plays where we need them, and then and that's the thing too is you saw the Spartans start to do some things that they didn't do all game long, which was throw it long to Vadvrushka.
Sire had that really good catch.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that when you first look at a team like Spearfish, you start to think, okay, well they roll out to the right, they can throw it short, they can do this stuff, but they will test you too on a lot of different levels. So that was good to see. And it was funny after the game, just talking with Coach Teason, where he's like, why do we have to wait until the fourth quarter? And it's like, he's like, well, no, I get it. We wear teams down and we just take care of them there. And so I'm just like, it's better than not taking care of them in the fourth quarter. So
the thing I wanted to is there a lot of coaches would have panicked. They would have got away from their
coaching.
Yeah, coaching or their game plan. That's another word I'm looking for. They would have got away from their game plan. Coach Teason didn't veer from it at all. This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to beat them. And it doesn't matter that we're a little bit behind. There was no panic. There was never any panic, and I think the players kind of fed off that. They weren't. None of them were rushing off the field or doing anything.
There wasn't
silly.
A panic about it at all. You didn't feel like it was really ever anything to be worried about.
You kind of felt like, okay, they're good. This is going to happen. And then Mick busted a couple, and then Thomas Hughes interception, where he's been watching Huddle, man, because like I said, he baited it. It looked like he knew that throw was coming, and he baited it. And he jumped it.
Fantastic read.
And then Cade, just to go to the high point. You can't time that any better. And I think that's got to be really good because that's got to feel good because Cade's, when you got a playmaker that's high pointing the ball like that and making those plays, and then you have someone to kind of go in with Sire and get the one-handed grabs and the tough yards and stuff. So I think the playmakers are actually showing up and they're doing their thing.
Yep. And I will say too,
that was a ramble.
The one thing I do, it's Monday, it happens. I will say the one thing I do want to see more out of a Spearfish though is I would like to see a more consistent, dominant ground attack with players other than Hughes. I would specifically like to see. I think we need to get a little bit more push on some things. I think that I think Mick's reading it a little bit better too. You saw it in the second half.
The blocking scheme seems like I don't even know if I should. I'm sure they already see it. The zone blocking isn't as effective as I think if you would just say, your head up here, your head up here, you go here, you chip here, go to secondary, you go here. Where certain high school teams can do it, certain high school players can do it. I'm not sure if, I don't want to say this isn't a group that can do it, but right now I think that you just need to show them, hey, you're sealing here, you're going here, you're creating this hole here.
Part of me wonders what it'd look like if it was under center a little bit too, like just dives, like if it was just, maybe even out of the eye, whatever it is. But at the same time, that never really happens in high school. Like you see a lot of the gun or you see a lot of schools do it out of the gun and just kind of go from those zone reads and that kind of stuff. So I don't think it's a bad thing by any means, but it was something that I noticed where I'm like, okay, like what do we got to do to get the running game going? And I think some of it starts up front, but I also think that the coaching staff did a really good job of also getting a guy like Hughes out in space where he's most comfortable, and you just let him kind of do his thing.
Well, and that's where the zone blocking works the best too, is when you can get out in space. It's hard to run powers and stuff with a zone blocking scheme because you're not sure when do you go to the next level, when do you do this. A lot of these high school guys aren't. They know the play, they see it, and they're like, okay, I need to block this way. But I think if you just hat on a hat and then you got ultimately then you create one guy from Mick to miss, I think you're going to be a lot more effective than trying to run a zone when you're trying to pound the ball up the middle like that. And I think you're going to be a lot more effective.
Absolutely. So, but that's it. Anything else you'd like to add? Our recap of Week 2 high school football in South Dakota.
Player of the game, who do you got?
You got to go with Hughes, in my opinion. You saw him make that. The first half interception was kind of mad, like it was right before the half. It was what it was. But the way he kind of took over there, like if they don't have that touchdown run, that long touch, I don't think they come out of it. I think that he made the play there. He made a couple of plays with his legs that kept drives and plays alive. And then also, you look at that interception at the end to seal it. It's just, I think you got to go with Thomas Hughes.
I think Hughes is definitely the safe pick, and I would pick Hughes too. But since you picked him, I'm going to go Cade, just because he played really well on defense. He had a couple just monster hits. So did Hughes too. Like I'm not taking away anything from Thomas Hughes. Like I said, he picked him, so I have to pick somebody else. So I'm picking Cade. And then but Cade and Thomas were both just absolute monsters on defense.
You know who had a really sleeperish, like a really good game, but that nobody's talking about? Jack Coed.
Yeah, Jack played really well.
There was some plays there where the one specifically where he came off the edge, and I'm thinking, this is an outside linebacker at the next level. Like if you add, maybe 10, 15 pounds and you get him, if you get him in a 3-4 or 4-3, if you want him to be a D-end, okay, but I think he's more of an outside linebacker.
Yeah. He has the size.
He has the size. He had the speed to come around the edge, and I was kind of like, we get some pass rush moves, and there's just a little chop rip. We got something going here,
Yeah, no, Jack had a really good game too.
So,
but nothing flashy, and I think that's kind of what he wants.
Yeah, I think he made the plays that he made were impactful though.
Absolutely.
The tackle, what was it? That it was a tackle for loss, and there was that other play where it was like 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, and he stonewalled the play. So it's like, as a D end, your job is to not let anything get outside of you, set the edge, and then also when you have to rush the passer, get after him, but also you have to make plays in the running game. And I think he did all three of those things really, really well. So, but yeah, I thought Jack had a really good game too. So.
Yep, I think ultimately they all played really well, but I think Cade and Thomas Hughes, and then Jack as an honorable mention is pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
But one more thing.
Yep.
Spearfish Rams, white team won, blue team unfortunately got beat by Lee Deadwood. They fought hard though, so all the little guys, if you guys are watching this, you guys fought hard. It was a good game.
They did.
White team's defense is absolutely just dominant. We had one play. One play was positive yards.
I wonder who coaches the white team defense. I think things looked really good for the Rams. It's always week 1 where you're always like, you're the most skeptical.
I was nervous.
But I know you're nervous, but you're always skeptical because you look at it as skeptical. There we go.
Yeah.
You're skeptical about things because you're like, okay, like we won, but how good was the win? But it's also at the same time, I find myself having to go back and be like, Colton, it's a win. It's the first week.
Defending Super Bowl champs.
Of the defending Super Bowl champs.
We beat them.
And we can go
handily.
back. Let's look at the tape. Let's see what happened, and we'll go from there. So I find
exciting.
myself, yes.
That defense is nasty.
It's going to be fun this year. Let's put it that way. We are so back. First week of NFL action. Now we're back. We are. What was it? The
you
quote
want to
by
talk NFL real quick? No, I'm just kidding. We'll get into that later.
Andy Bernard, what did he say? He said something along the lines of, "I wish you could know you're in the good times when you're already in them." Like, this is it.
Yeah,
this is the good times right now. So
every fall is a good time. Oh, shout out to Mr. Borneau. He's going to be in the Dakota Wesleyan Hall of Fame.
Borneau. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Francois.
Francois Borneau is going to. He got elected to the Dakota Wesleyan Hall of Fame.
That's really good
Absolute
to see.
monster running back over there. So.
Yeah. Shout out to Cecily and Francois over there. By the way, if you ever want to feel like less about yourself, just let Francois walk in the room, and you're just like, yeah. Okay. All right. There's that. I got to do some sit-ups or something. But no. Congratulations to Francois and Cecily. Really good to see, and well earned, obviously. So
yes, absolutely. And then a shout out to Braden Delahoyte. I think we mentioned it at the beginning.
25-yard touchdown, I believe, something like that. Yeah, it was good to see.
Overtime, right?
It was something like that. But he, the picture I saw from him, he looks yoked. I was like,
dude.
All right, here we go. This is going to be good. So, no, really good to see SDSU coming out with that one. And, yeah, a lot of good football action. We're back in the good times.
Yes, if you get a chance to watch SDSU this year, either go to a game or catch them on TV. They're a very good football program, and they're a lot of fun to watch. They got some really good players. The quarterback over in Iowa isn't playing too well, but
tender subject for a lot of people around here. Let's put it that way. I know an Iowa fan where I was listening to at soccer, and he was going off, and I'm trying to shield the mic a little bit because Gronowski, yeah, it's rough. Well, probably should have stayed at SU, but that's a topic for another time. But like we said, so next week the Spartans are this week. Sorry, Friday. The Spartans have. I'm blanking on
Aberdeen
it too.
Central.
That's next week, Aberdeen. But they've got Mitchell on Friday. That's going to be a really good game. We'll be streaming it as always. And like we said, anything Spearfish Spartans related, make sure you guys check out odricksports.com. Podcasts, interviews, photos, highlights, whatever it is. We're so happy to bring it to you guys.
And it's not just football, guys. We have interviews with the cross country coaches. We have interviews with the soccer coaches. We're going to start bringing players and stuff on, volleyball coaches. As soon as basketball season kind of rears up, we'll get these guys in early, so we can get previews and stuff from the coaches and from the players. We're very, very lucky with Mr. Wademan. He's kind of given us access to a lot of these coaches and some of the players and stuff. So we're going to take full advantage of it and make sure that we bring really good content to you guys.
Absolutely. So that'll do it for the second week of football recaps in week 2 of South Dakota high school football. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
And don't forget to check us out on Thursdays and that'll be our preview of that Friday game. So thanks, guys.
Production is brought to you by our sponsors: Legacy Custom Homes and Design, Black Mountain Painting, Spearfish Building Supply, Woods Heating and Cooling, Pioneer Properties, One Way Service Pros, The Bashful Bison, American Family Insurance Mariah Duvall Agency, Queen City Door, Signature Auto of the Black Hills, the Golf Club at Devil's Tower, the Clubhouse of Spearfish, Good Earth Natural Foods, McDonald's and Spearfish, I Love Spearfish, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, MJ Plumbing, and Northern Hills Golf Car.